Did you choose your life or did your life choose you? I was 7 years old when I picked up a football. I just wanted to play it my whole life. But somewhere along the way, something shifted. I wanted to become a professional athlete. I wanted the identity, the purpose, the whole personality that comes with it. And slowly, the football stopped being something I did. It became everything I was. For the outside world, I was the guy who figured out what he wanted from life and never deviated from the path. But everything in my life revolved around sport. Every plan, every timing, every decision. Football was the first and last thought of every single day. I controlled everything. My schedule, my sleep, my food, my emotions. And the more I controlled, the further I got from the person I supposed to become. Football was never the problem. The problem was that I stopped existing outside of it. There was no version of me that was separate from the sport. I was always performing, but never being. Imagine the scene. I had just come back from a year in Spain, training, showcasing, basically trying to make it. But there was not a single moment when someone looked at me and said, "He's the guy." One night, when everyone in my family had gone to sleep, I just sat alone in the kitchen, watching a movie on my phone. And there was a scene where a man who had lost everything stands still, while the whole world moves on without him. And I saw myself in that man. My peers were building careers, moving forward, while I was still standing at the same place. And I started to cry. I was nothing without the sport. Life always offered me something outside of it. A late night with friends, a conversation that has nothing to do with football, a morning with no agenda. And I turned it down. That was the beginning of this longest off season of my life. The off season from the person I'm supposed to become. I went home for summer break and we had a conversation with my dad. Same kitchen, same table where I cried. And I remember seeing that my dad was happy to see me. He was motivated, full of belief. And he said, "Son, we're on the finishing straight. Just push it and you'll get the thing you wanted your whole life." And I said that I'm tired of it. I'm tired of the all football talk, all career talk, all of it. He said that he supports me 100%. And then he kissed me on top of my head. And that was the first time he had ever done that. I went back to Warsaw. The love they had for me was enough to keep me going. I changed clubs. I started from scratch and told myself that this time would be different. But then comes the last game of the first half of the season. I was standing on the pitch and something became very clear. It's not that I hated football. I still love it. The game is beautiful. But what I do not love anymore was the person who I had become inside of it. Then I went again back home for winter break and sat with my sisters in the kitchen. Same kitchen, by the way. And we had just a warm and comforting conversation because we have not seen each other properly for 2 years. And I remember thinking that I've been missing this. I've been missing the feeling to be in the same room with other people but with nothing to prove and nowhere to be. I started saying yes to things. I felt light. A new project here, a new experience there. We actually organized a conference for upcoming professionals in Poland to help them to find job in Poland. Not because I had all the answers, but because I wanted to help the way it felt like me. I slowly started to own my life. Not perfect, not resolved. I still carry fear, like every other person here does. But the fear I carry now belongs to me. I chose it. Nobody else handed it at me at 7 and said to build the whole life around it. I want every people here to question themselves. Is there something you do not because it's yours, but because somewhere along the way it became you? A career, a role, a version of yourself that someone else built. And most importantly, did you choose your life or did your life choose you? Maybe you did choose. Maybe someone else chose it for you. Maybe you did choose once and the choice became so familiar that you stopped noticing that it's still a choice. I do not have answers to any of that. But I know that at 7, I gave my life to football. And at 20, I took it back. And every morning since, I wake up and choose again. Thank you.